And eventually then our currency was taken off of the gold standard, and that's when things really began to go crazy. So anyway, the U.S. Fed spokesperson, Patrick Paulson, acknowledged that there could be some strong reaction in the U.S. global currency and that it would, quote, be viewed as a step toward a new world order. But those same people have probably lost patience with the money changers as well. End of quote. He clarified that the world would, quote, nonetheless anticipate that the Western currencies would continue to depreciate, given Asia's ascendancy in trade and manufacturing to find their own value and enable their economies to compete. This is a UN prerogative we cannot and should not control. It's returning to what we had with Bretton Woods. The UN decided to provide a, quote, public option savings currency, whereby currency mints would be licensed to mint two kinds of bullion coins the size of the EU coin, the Uno, silver $5 coin, and the Oro, a gold $500 coin. The names were adopted from the book entitled The Humanist. How about that? Which foresees the UN being better funded by 2015 by way of its licensing fees and expected to be about 10 to 15%. Well, the coins have a marker chemical in them that enables their authentication. In other words, nobody can counterfeit them. By processing by modified retail ATM exchange machines in Europe, which will be distributed globally. Any licensee, public or private, can produce such bullion coins under contract. The United Nations is doing no more. In other words, if, say, the United States had a bunch of gold and the UN said, okay, we license you to mint these UN coins. Just be sure and put our name on it, okay? Make it look like those same ones we got. We'll license you to have X number of dollars worth. So we would take our coins and make UN dollars out of it. How about that? The UN is doing no more than what most countries do already, except that the value of its coins will reflect their bullion weight. Mr. Armand Dufour of the European Bank welcomes their introduction. He said, quote, people have enough fiat currency options. Government and banks cannot intrude on bullion coins, and they will have their own inviolable value, end of quote. Well, he does have one concern, however. He said, quote, if we see a dismounting from the U.S. dollar, as is inevitable in the main view, there will be a strong move on the Oro. That's the UN gold coin, or European coin as it is now, which may drive up its price to the point where governments will not allow its circulation. They will try to isolate it. That's when the fun begins, he said. Fun begins? Yeah. In other words, the price of gold can go up so high with these gold bullion coins that the governments may confiscate them from the public and make us use something like a cashless society, cards, electronic funds transfer. But the UN will keep all the gold in its vaults and set the value of the currencies of the world by its own gold coins. Sure sounds like the mark of the beast is on its way. The engines have revved up. It's coming downhill. It's getting faster and faster. It will arrive. Who knows? Maybe soon. But you know what? The Bible has something to say about that. When the mark of the beast comes, it will come in the middle of a 7-year tribulation period. So you and I don't have to worry about it, not right away anyway. If the gold coins are minted by the UN, let's say this next year, or the next year, who knows, 2010, 2011, 2012, we won't have to worry about it until, after we're gone. Then I will say this, if the UN mints them pretty soon, that means we're going to be out of here pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to being with Jesus, looking up. Ah, that day when we'll walk on streets paved with that stuff. And it won't have the Bank of the UN written on it either. It'll be the Bank of Heaven. For up there they use gold like asphalt. What the Bible says. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.